All right, guys. So it's 11:30 at night, and obviously I'm not dressed for the occasion, and I'm half asleep. But going back to the day, I kept stumbling across one of the things that we seem to have a little bit of a disconnect in, and that is the price objection. What's the price? I just want to get the numbers. Blah 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 blah. So when it comes to word tracks, for me, I always had an easier time grasping the fundamentals behind the word track, and therefore I could articulate it my own way. So if you get the idea of what's being presented, it doesn't have to be verbatim the way that somebody else said it, because oftentimes that comes off as canned. So understand that when I say something, I don't need you to recite it. What I need you to do is I need you to get the concept and then find your own comfort zone and your own way of delivering the exact same message. But be very careful that you don't dilute the message to a point that it doesn't convey the same point. So when a customer comes in and says, listen, I just want the numbers. I don't want to, I don't want to commit to anything. First and foremost, remember, 75% of the time you're on the wrong car. It's because they're not in love with the car. However, the other thing that you're going to want to pay attention to is don't get combative or don't tell them no. Absolutely, folks. I'll be happy to get you the price. Now, as astute buyers, I'm sure you guys have shopped around a little bit, and you've read a lot of the articles that are warning consumers these days that in the market that we find ourselves in this economic time, to be aware of what the real transparency of the sale price is. Every dealership in the nation is advertising these huge discounts on cars. What they're not telling you is that it's with secured financing through the dealership at a marked up reserve rate, meaning that they're retaining a profit center in the financing of the vehicle, or that they're gonna offer you $3,000 or $4,000 less for your trade than anybody else would, or that it's based upon the contingency of your purchase of available back-end products. So all they're doing is they're taking their available profit margins and they're dispersing them to less transparent directions. So all of your recent articles are warning consumers against your marketing and the targeting of the sale price, because it's not very transparent. At the end of the day, if your credit union's offered you 2.99% and I can sell you the vehicle for $3,000 less than anybody else can, but you have to finance with me at $799, it's not a good deal. Or if I'll sell it to you for $3,000 less than anybody else, but I'm going to give you $4,000 less for your trade, it's not a good deal. At the end of the day, what you folks are most focused on is you're focused on getting all of the key components into a grouping that makes for the lowest possible cost of ownership on a vehicle that you love. So it's fair to say that during the course of one of these events, every aspect of any industry is a competitive market. Everybody's trying to reach out and grab the lion's share and figure out what pieces they need to take in order to get the ones that they want. So it's fair to say that in the course of one of these events, we're going to be quadrupling or more so what a dealer's standard business is. So it'd be reasonable to assume that wholesalers, we would have additional leverage with wholesalers to maybe pay a little bit more for one car in an effort to secure the other one that they wanted, or with lenders. I think, wouldn't it be reasonable to assume that that when we're doing this much business, that every lender wants to reach out there and grab the lion's share of it, and every once in a while they'll have to make a concession or do a favor. And also with the influx of business that we're doing, we get the opportunity to build much better relationships with these lenders. So what I can promise you folks is that we don't lose customers to the numbers. We have the absolute most aggressive total package that puts you in a position where you get the absolute lowest cost of ownership. But don't limit yourself to just focusing on the price, and that's whether you buy something here or anywhere else. Don't focus too much on the price, because it leaves you exposed to be taken advantage of in a multitude of other directions. So with that being said, folks, tell me a little bit more about what it is that you were looking for, or if we're at this point right now where it's just the number standing between us and doing business, then it's fair to say that, if you look here at this commitment sheet, what it itemizes, if you read between the lines, is that if the numbers aren't the way you need them to be, you're not going to buy the vehicle. In which case, I'd be the first person to tell you not to buy it. My job is to find you the perfect vehicle, then make it fit within the parameters of your budget. If I can do that, folks, is it fair to say that you take delivery of the vehicle right now?